And so people have a whole lot of things happening to them, and it is frustrating them. Some mostly are becoming depressed. And that is why we have confessions here where you get to talk all of it, and we listen and we help. And yet, your story is safe with us. This is Confessions on TV3. My name is Miss Nancy, and tonight, Equia is here with us. And she has a confession, and it is quite a story. Equia, you're welcome to Confessions.
Thank you, Miss Nancy.
So, Equia, what is your story?
Miss Nancy, things are getting out of hand. My husband's brother.
Your husband's brother?
Yes, he wants to ruin my marriage. Since I got married to my husband for about 2 years now, his elder brother decided to come and live with us in our 2-bedroom apartment.
Elder brother?
Yes.
Okay.
Initially, when he came, my husband said he was going to spend a couple of months because he had planned to travel outside the country.
Okay.
So I agreed because, after all, his family. But after a month, he started giving out negative vibes. Sometimes when my husband is not around, he will wrap himself with a towel and then sit on the couch. This happened for some time, and then I usually ignore him.
So you are trying to say that the sight of him topless with a towel wrapped around his midsection is negative vibes for you, or a cause of attraction?
Yes, because to be frank, it's a cause of attraction. It entices me. Yeah, so I tried my possible best to ignore him.
Okay.
So after a series of these incidents, I decided to tell my husband to make his brother find an apartment himself because it was getting out of hand.
How long had he stayed with you then?
For like 3 months.
Okay.
Yes, so when I brought this issue up, I raised this issue up to my husband. He was like, why should I tell him this? There's a room in the house his brother could equally share with us. So
it's just a 2-bedroom apartment?
Yes.
So your husband and you sleep in one and the brother sleeps in the other. You don't have any children yet?
No, we don't have any children yet. And he says, why should I suggest that? Since there's an extra room, why should I suggest that his brother go and rent another apartment? What I told him was I wasn't comfortable with his brother staying in the house, and that I wanted us to have privacy.
Okay.
But he didn't say anything afterwards. Later, fast forward, his brother started wearing tights, boxers. He has a huge manhood, so you could see.
He does?
Yeah, you could see through the boxer. And Miss Nancy, to be frank, I get turned on.
You do? But it's his brother, and I'm assuming that, like brother. So his brother equally should be well endowed. Is he not? Is your husband not well endowed?
He is, but his brother's, I think, is a bit bigger.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You've seen it?
No, depending on what I see.
From the
boxer.
briefs?
Yeah.
Okay.
3 days ago, I was in the kitchen and then his brother came and he was in the tight boxer. And he cornered me. Sorry.
He cornered you?
Yeah.
In the kitchen?
Yes.
Rubbed himself on you?
Yes.
His brother's wife?
Yes.
Prior to this, have you ever said, hello, you look well, or hi, you look beautiful, or was there ever a verbal conversation?
Yes, there was. Wow, you look good in this dress. Your ass is popping. Nice shape, and then your smile is enticing and all that. Like, yes, started giving those kind of comments.
Okay, let's get back to the kitchen. He cornered you, rubbed himself on you.
Yes.
And?
So I didn't want to go tell my husband that, oh, this is what his brother is doing, because I felt nothing happened, so let's just ignore it. Just yesterday, I was in the kitchen again, and then he came and he cornered me. But this time around, He fingered me intensely.
He
Fingered
touched
me.
you.
Yes.
He put his hands inside of you.
Yes, he did.
His brother's wife.
Yes.
And you allowed him.
I don't know what happened. I don't know how I lost control.
Was it just him touching you or he kissed you?
So after he touched, he was fingering me and all that. He went down and he sucked me and also licked me too.
Her husband's brother has been going about almost naked in the house. He's been giving her compliments. He once cornered her and hugged her, I would say. The next time he cornered her, they have been intimate. He has kissed her, he has touched her, her husband's brother. People, this one, over me. I think we need to get to the studio. The audience are ready, and my resource person is also ready. And my goodness, the things that are happening in the homes of people. This is Confessions on TV3. My name is Miss Nancy. Let's go into the studio. A very good evening to you, Ghana. My name is Miss Nancy. This is Confessions on TV3. I'm delighted to come your way again. Tonight is a young woman who is married not too long ago, has a fine man as a brother-in-law. They are feeling some connection. They have started touching themselves, and she is frustrated that if this continues, she is losing her marriage. This is what is happening in her home. She really hasn't done it, but all the things that she says she has done could lead to the ultimate. She needs help. She needs to get it off her chest, and that is why we're here. Confessions is coming up, and my studio audience are ready, and I am. And when I get seated, we commence the conversation. How do we help her? You are welcome back. This is Confessions on TV3, and we're here in the studio. People, how are you doing? Give me some love. Let me feel ya. Let me feel ya. Thank you. You just heard the confession. Anyone from the side?
Miss Nancy.
Hi. Your name?
Praises Sapon.
Mr. Praises Sapon. Awesome.
Yeah, it's very pathetic after listening to the lady. The lady, she knows herself and her capacity and her weaknesses. So initially, when she started seeing some things, she tried to speak with the husband. For some people to see that it is a taboo to go after certain ladies, like a brother's wife or my husband's brother. These days, it has a thin line to be able to refrain. Yes, the way sexual pornography things are all over, and just a minute we are watching another thing. So when the feelings attacks you, I'm afraid
it's difficult to manage yourself.
Yes.
I mean, this is her brother-in-law, her husband's brother. I mean, there is this terminology we all use that I brother zoned him. So shouldn't you brother zone your husband's brother, like psychologically, emotionally, if sexually? Brother zone. You shouldn't find your husband's brother attractive, should you?
Not at all. Hi, Miss Nancy.
Hi, my lady.
I'm Rabna.
Hi,
Miss
Ra.
Nancy, this is so sad, and
Isn't
it
it?
could lead to her losing her marriage. The guy had an intention. He knew what he was doing. Because for you to wear tight pants, be in your towel, bare-chested, and like show all that to a woman, who is even
at
married
what
to your
point
brother.
did the sight of a man in a towel become very sexually
No,
attractive? At what point?
Miss Nancy, some women.
Can you imagine?
Some women can't take that. To
Just the
see-
sight of a man in a towel.
Yes, yes, and even their six packs, their chest, like yes.
If
some
that is
women-
the issue, then the men with the one pack or I call
No,
them the
there are
teddy
some
bear
women
men
who
would never
can't-
have women.
There are some women who can't take that. Some can overlook it, but some can't take that.
Thank you. Some can overlook it and others can take that. We are all not the same, basically. Yes, my lady.
Hi, Miss Nancy.
Hi, my lady.
My name is Naduli.
Nah, thank you for coming.
In the first place, she loved what she was saying. Because as a woman and as a wife in your home, you should be able to stand on your grounds. You should be able to make rules in your home. So you spoke to your husband. He said his brother can stay because there's another room in the house. Fine, he wasn't taking any actions. What do you have to do as a woman in your home? You set your rules. You speak to your husband's brother. That's, we don't do this in my home. So please, let's stick to these rules. If he's still not minding, then you can take further actions. Probably he might speak to his brother that this is what
My
his
wife
wife
is
said.
saying.
Then your husband might confront you, and then you can also see your side of the story. Why you don't want to say it, but because things has gotten this way, you have to. So I believe she should have taken her grounds and set the rules in her home.
Is this a case of body no be firewood? Or it's just this woman who is married and loose and doesn't have self-discipline? People, we need to get into this conversation. And to help us today is a beautiful lady pastor who is a relationship coach. Her name is Lady Pastor Sheila Asari. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get up, let's give her a standing ovation. Good to see you. Please have a seat. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming.
The pleasure is all mine.
Awesome. So let us listen to the confession because you missed it. Now, people, let us listen to the conversation again. Her confession.
Thank you, Miss Nancy.
So, Ikea, what is your story?
Miss Nancy, things are getting out of hand. My husband's brother.
Your husband's brother?
Yes, he wants to
Okay.
ruin my marriage. Since I got married to my husband for about 2 years now, his elder brother decided to come and live with us in our 2-bedroom apartment.
Elder brother.
Yes.
Okay.
Initially, when he came, my husband said he was going to spend a couple of months because he had planned to travel outside the country.
Okay.
So I agreed because, after all, his family. But after a month, he started giving out negative vibes. Sometimes when my husband is not around, he'll wrap himself with towel and then sit on the couch. This happened for some time and then I usually ignore him.
So you are trying to say that the sight of him topless with a towel wrapped around his midsection is negative vibes for you or a cause of attraction?
Yes, because to be frank, it's a cause of attraction. It entices me. Yeah, so I tried my possible best to ignore him.
Okay.
So after a series of these incidents, I decided to tell my husband to make his brother find an apartment himself because it was getting out of hand.
How long had he stayed with you then?
For like 3 months.
Okay.
Yes, so when I brought this issue up, I raised this issue up to my husband. He was like, why should I tell him this? There's a room in the house his brother could equally share with us. So
It's just a 2-bedroom apartment?
Yes, he
So your
said-
husband and you sleep in one and the
One
brother
room,
sleeps in
sleeps
the other. You
room.
don't have any children yet?
No, we don't have any
Okay.
children yet. And he says, why should I suggest that? Since there's an extra room, why should I suggest that his brother go and rent another apartment? What I told him was I wasn't comfortable with his brother staying in the house and that I wanted us to have privacy.
Okay.
But he didn't say anything afterwards. Later, fast forward, his brother started wearing tights, boxers. He has a huge manhood, so you could see.
He does.
Yeah, you could see through the boxer. And Miss Nancy, to be frank, I get turned on.
You do, but it's his brother, and I'm assuming that, like brother. So his brother equally should be well endowed. Is he not? Is your husband not well endowed?
He is, but his brother's, I think, is a bit bigger.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You've seen it?
No, depending on what I see.
From
The
the
boxer.
briefs?
Yeah.
Okay.
3 days ago, I was in the kitchen and then his brother came and he was in the tight boxer and he cornered me. Sorry.
He
this
cornered
man.
you
Yeah.
in the kitchen,
Yes.
rubbed himself on you,
Yes.
his brother's wife.
Yes.
Prior to this, have you ever said, hello, you look well, or hi, you look beautiful, or was there ever a verbal conversation?
Yes, there was. Wow, you look good in this dress. Your ass is popping. Nice shape, and then your smile is enticing and all that. Like, yes, started giving those kind of comments.
Okay, let's get back to the kitchen. He cornered you, rubbed himself on you,
Yes.
and
So I didn't want to go tell my husband that, oh, this is what his brother is doing, because I felt nothing happened, so let's just ignore it. Just yesterday, I was in the kitchen again, and then he came and he cornered me. But this time around, he fingered me intensely.
he
Fingered
touched
me.
you.
Yes.
He put his hands inside of you,
Yes, he did.
his brother's wife,
Yes.
and you allowed him.
I don't know what happened. I don't know how I lost control.
Was it just him touching you, or he kissed you?
So after he touched, he was fingering me and all that. He went down and he sucked me and also licked me too.
Awesome. That is the confession, my sister.
Right.
My question is this just a case of I'm finding him so physically attractive, there is nothing I can do about it, or she's just a loose woman?
Well, I wouldn't want to, conclude by saying she's a loose woman, actually. This thing can happen to anybody. I do not want to go too biblical, but practically, it's like saying I'm attracted to my father-in-law.
Can you imagine?
Yes, it's like saying my father-in-law has moved in with us for the past 3 months. So my father-in-law has been sleeping on the couch. He's been revealing certain things, so I'm attracted to him. And it's a big no for me. As a woman, you should be, a married woman, for that matter, you should be disciplined.
Yes.
The moment you vow to be with a person for better or for worse, you should know that, there's this thing binding the two of you. So
Yes.
there's a law bounding the two of you. You cannot, as a woman, even cheat with someone who is not a relation. How much more your brothers, your husband's brother. That is a no go area for me. Which means, okay, so she can be very sexually active, and probably, in this case, I would say probably the husband, it's probably so busy and doesn't make time for her. These
Has
things
not
happen.
met her needs
has not-
sexually.
Yes, so instead of probably going out, she wants the in-house thing. But that is a big taboo. It's a taboo. You can't do this. Muslim can't do it, Christian can't do it, and any religion, I don't
think there
think
is any other religion that supports that you can have
no,
intimacies with your.
No, you can't do it.
Let us talk about the disciplining of the mind, because it looks like for every action, it already happens in the brain.
Yes.
Is it healthy for a woman to look at her brother-in-law and start looking at him like a man and not a brother-in-law? Is there a way where you can categorize people in your psyche? That this is where I place this person, like we say, I will brother zone you and that's forever.
Yeah.
Sister zoning and that's forever. Are people able to have that kind of decision making?
Everybody is different. Everybody and their willpower. So sometimes you don't even plan it. You don't plan, say you're meeting this person to have sex or to fondle, or it happens. But with this one, the indiscipline played in for her.
This woman looks like one that is promiscuous.
I can't conclude that way. It's one who is probably lacking something in her marriage. Because if everything is being met sexually, financially, spiritually, everything, why would you even look at another man? So there is something really wrong in her marriage.
Let us ask her, because she is right here in the studio. My lady,
Yes, Miss
what
Nancy.
do you lack? Are you being satisfied by your own husband? Is the frequency of the sex good for you? Is the activity itself satisfying enough? What do you lack?
My husband does satisfy me, but he's most at times busy because he has to travel sometimes, and then he stays up late at work before coming home.
So he doesn't have much time. And how do you have so much time? Do you work?
Yes, my work time schedule is more favorable to me, so I'm mostly early.
You
I
have
come home
time.
early. Yes,
You
I
have
so have
leisure.
time. Yes.
This is
This
it.
is a big problem, because if you're working, I was going to say probably if you were a housewife, then that will be the issue. So you need to find something. You need to find something to occupy you. But if you are working, then my dear, what else do you want? Marriage is not all about sex. I always say that marriage is not all about
Let's do
sex.
percentage. I'm living with your husband and having sex. What? Sex takes what percentage?
About 60%.
Hey, you
Yes.
have been having some sex, ma'am. 60% of
About
sex?
60%, yes. About 60%.
Oh,
About 60%.
40 is all the other things.
Yeah, 40 is the work, you know, the children, and that's-
Congratulations, Lady Pastor. You must be having some sex.
So this woman, I'm a bit worried for her, which means she's extremely sexually active, and probably the husband is not. But I'm sure when you were courting, you saw all these things. So you should have done something to occupy your space, not sexually.
Let
That
us
is
talk
wrong.
about sexual compatibility in marriages. You love him, he loves you. How much sex do you want? How much sex does he need?
As a woman, I strongly believe that the family depends on you. My little sister would say, why do I always say this? But it's true. So when it comes to sex, it is not always about the lying down and lying on top of, you know, I'm sorry.
The missionary style.
Yes, it's not all about it.
Lady Pastor, preach us some other interesting
I
styles.
think sometimes it depends on how initiated. Your husband is at work. As she's saying, he's a busy man. You send him a message, and he's a man, he's human. He would definitely pick the message. He'll pick something from the message you just sent. So by so doing, you've prepared his mind that come home early, there's something waiting for you at home.
So
And
what
it's-
kind of messages? Oh, give us one, give us one. Now you create it, and let me go for this break. When we come back, you will give me samples of messages that you sent to your beloved so that he comes home early, even when he's busy. I'll be right back. You are welcome back. This is Confessions on TV3. Tonight, we are not crying because, well, nobody's been abused, nobody's been hurt. I mean, the confession is something that we need to learn a lot from. Self-control and all that comes with it. So in the studio, people have some things to say. Before we went on the break, I was asking my lady pastor, so Clark, would you want to give me one of the text messages that if your woman sends to you, wherever you are, you will rush, you will run. In fact, you will fly home.
Miss Nancy, Osofo Mami is so good.
She's amazing.
Let's give her one more.
Thank you. Let's move it.
Miss Nancy, thank you for the opportunity once again. I want to ask this question. What is it about most women, I'm not saying all, most women, that they see men and they look at where our zip is or our waist side? Why? Exactly. What is it about women? You are married. You are in your house with your husband. The brother comes in and you see then she can't live in a compound house. Yes, because in a compound house where you have 36 rooms or 30 rooms, every guy behaves differently. Some comes with that silky boxes, some come with the cotton type, some come with the holo type and all.
And
you understand?
Supporter.
Yes, and then they'll be carrying their bucket and stuff. Then the 6 packs, the pot belly, the medium size, like my sister said.
Every one of them is available.
No, she has an attitude problem. One advice to the guys. I'm not saying we should all go for virgins. You know, communicate and know the level.
Your sexual compatibility.
Yes. You understand? Because me, I like it too. I like it. I'm sexually active. So I like it. And I know how to crow my lady. You understand?
Yeah.
But if your husband is not giving you that energy, that compatibility, that connection, that friendship, he doesn't take you out, and you sit aloof, and now you are seeing his brother attractive because he works in the room, in the house. But were you there when they were being brought up? Do you know how they were brought up? There are some houses, people wear singlets and boxers after school. We just roam out, we hear mommy and daddy is coming. You see?
So
there are some
he
houses,
probably doesn't have an intention of seducing her.
You understand?
But eventually, this guy, we've been giving it to the lady. Look at this guy
I'll come
that
to
is
the guy.
perching with his brother.
Miss Nancy, we men, some men, when they see ladies with good legs, you see, like you said, everybody knows where they get attracted to.
The wow factor.
You understand? Me, when I see ladies with, some nice legs and all that, and, with good up there, and then a bit, open, I'm gone. So when I see those things, I take my eyes off in public.
Yes.
This woman, you can see that consistently she was enjoying. When she sees the thing, then she'll be eyeing it all the time. That is what.
Look at the way she described it. Look at the way she described it. Longingly.
His own. And my husband's own looks a little bit different. That means the husband's own is a little bit smaller, and this one looks more curvier and stronger. Because she keeps saying the boxers. And the first time, any woman that doesn't want you, the first time you touch her, slap, bam. She didn't do that. That means a magnet.
Thank you. Thank you.
You understand?
Thank you. Yes. Let me take another person's view.
Miss Nancy, my name is Abed Nego.
Abed.
She's trying to describe the size, like my brother said, saying that this the brother's manhood is a bit bigger than that of.
I mean, in this case, she has noticed a problem, and that is why she's here in the first place. She's seeing that where it is going, the sight of it is killing her, the feel of it, and she's almost dead.
Miss Nancy, we guys on the street safe. Let me come to our boys level. On the street safe, if I have a friend and my friend has a girlfriend, common girlfriend, sometimes our conscience are, kind of judging us.
Yeah.
When you're even going close to such you know, and the girls too, sometimes they try to be that holy in order not to attempt the friends of their boyfriends. I get what I'm trying to say. How much more a brother? You see, a man can be angry, whatever, go that, but a woman is a woman's point to resist it. Women have that power to resist sex.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I think he deserves one.
I was thinking about it, that if it's a newly marriage that you've gone in,
yes,
I think the brother has a purpose for entering
coming
into the house. Because they are newly wedded couples trying to enjoy life. Why do you come in? He has a purpose.
For
so
you, you think he came with an agenda?
Yes.
Lady Pastor, let us talk about having family around, especially when the marriage is so new.
Yeah, I think before getting married, the two of you, the man and the woman, you should agree on these things. Usually family, they are always problem. They are always like a problem to the marriage. So I would say if it's not things like birthdays, Christmas, probably holidays, you know, family gatherings and all, I will not encourage that, you know, couples, even if you're married for 10 years or more than 10 years.
It's not ideal.
I don't agree to that. And before someone moves, like a family member decides to visit, it should be discussed. And it takes two to tango. So if I disagree, my husband should know that I'm not happy with it. And with husbands, the men, when a woman starts complaining that this person, I do not want this person here.
In this house.
Sometimes we just don't want to talk.
There are words on set.
We just don't want to talk. So please, you have to listen to your woman. When she keeps saying that, do not allow this person here. She can probably not tell you A, B, C, D. But honestly, it's not very healthy. You know, brothers, sisters, these things, they are tempting. I have to be very honest. They are very tempting, especially when there's a vacuum somewhere.
Yeah.
They are tempting. So I advise rather that we discuss it. And when either of them, if a man is saying that, I do not want this your sister here, wives, listen. If a woman is saying that, I do not want your brother here, husbands,
even if it's a teenage daughter.
Exactly.
Still
you have to listen. You have to listen.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, before we went on the break, I asked you what are some of the messages that we could send to our beloved that would cause them to fly back home, even when they did not intend. One.
Sometimes you can send him, like you can send your husband, babe, I think marriages now should cultivate. I have a friend who is, like she calls her husband mirror. In these modern days, I'm sure the day I call my husband mirror, he would ask me, are you okay? Is everything okay? We should get pet names. Babe. Kechre. If you want to go local, make him your Kechre or something. Or my king. These things, even when there's an argument and you use them, when I'm arguing with my husband, I still maintain babies. And whether you are angry or not, I'm using the name baby. And you know, men do not have these things. But the moment you start doing that with most men, especially the businessmen, the hardworking, I won't say the hardworking, those busy men, the person starts also adjusting to it. So the moment I go like, babe, I'm not happy with this, he responds, babe, calm down. Then in my mind, oh, I just caught you. So you can probably say, babe, please come home early. Mama is waiting. Just that he knows it has registered. Mama is waiting. And then their mama. So then there is something, you know.
Do you know what mummies do to their babies?
We breastfeed them.
Let us say. You are welcome back to Confessions on TV3. My name is Miss Nancy, and tonight we've been joined by Lady Pastor Sheila Asare, and the ladies' confession, it is happening. Honestly, it is true. This is a true story, And we need to help her. In spite of all the discourses we've had, we need to give her solutions. And so I am calling for solutions, people. How can we help this woman?
Okay, Miss Nancy.
Yes, praises.
If I want to analyze this situation very well, the advice I can give to the lady is that now there's no doubt that she's meek as far as this sexuality is concerned.
Yeah.
The lady has proved that she's not strong enough psychologically, spiritually,
And physically.
mentally, physically, everything. So my advice is that she should let the man leave the house.
Okay.
The husband's brother should leave the house.
How does she communicate it to her husband without sounding like something is going on, you know? You know how men can be.
Yes, I think if the husband is mature enough, the moment your wife tells you that, honey, or please, I can't keep it any longer, can you let your brother leave me alone? The brother should consider it and then do it as the wife is looking for.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Right, so let me go here, lady. Lady in pink.
I would advise that the lady talks to her husband calmly. Communication and transparency is very key in marriages. And I believe the husband would understand because she has already started telling him she doesn't like the brother in the house. So I think she should tell him what transpired in a calm way.
Do you think that if the guy leaves the house, having touched her, kissed her, and all the other things she described, would she not go looking for him?
But I feel like if she should tell the husband, they can solve the problem together. And the husband should also work on himself. Because there's no intimacy between the two of them, that's why she's looking for it elsewhere. So he should bring his mind back home. Give your wife the attention she needs. Treat her right, care for her. When she wants to do it, please do it even if you're tired. And I don't think she would go to the other man. Honestly, I don't think so.
My lady pastor, can she confess to her husband? And if she does, that this is how far I have gone with your husband. He has not penetrated yet. Will the marriage survive? A typical Ghanaian marriage.
Honestly speaking, she can't confess.
Good.
And yes, because even though we are married, we all have private lives to live. So she can't confess. The moment you go and confess this act, even if you say he just kissed you,
all manner.
It can come up again, even after 3 years, 4 years. You think your husband, if he tells you I've forgiven you, he hasn't, trust me. And there are some things that you can open up in marriage, like the two of you can sit and talk, but there are some things that you will keep it till you die. So I would advise that she works on herself first. You would have to work, lady, you need to work on yourself first, because from the beginning, as I said, you are sexually very active when it comes to sex. So you need to work on your mental, emotional, and then after that, work on your marriage.
Can she bring in other things that would help her let go of this sexual energy that is all over her, with or without her husband? I mean, when I say other things that would give her release from the sexual energy that builds up.
These other things, sometimes you end up getting addicted to it. And when the man is coming close to you, you don't feel anything. You don't want anything from the man. You get addicted to these things. So you work on yourself. And if you're a Christian, you pray to God for willpower. Because if you don't have that willpower, I'm telling you, you can't do it by yourself.
But my lady, are you there?
Yes, Miss Nancy.
And have you been helped?
With regards to me controlling myself, Miss Nancy, to be frank, I've controlled myself enough. And my husband's brother, he's the one pursuing me, and I tried as much to ignore him.
So for you, so long as he's out of the house, you'll be safe.
Yes,
and your marriage will be intact.
Yes, please.
Yes, my lady.
Sometimes I also believe that before you approach your man or your woman with such a delicate issue. Not to confess though, but when you need your husband to do something for you, practically, if you're a Muslim, you do your prayer. But what has worked for me in my marriage is you pray. Honestly, when you pray to God that this thing that you're going to discuss with your husband, God should give him that. They are stubborn men.
Yeah.
When he says no, it's no. So probably she has that kind of husband. Yeah. But God can change situations around. So you just have to pray and tell God that your voice should be heard when you speak to your husband. And trust me, even if you add maybe like a day fast to it, God knows that this is your wish because you don't have the willpower. You can't do it on your own or by yourself. So you need God or anything that you're worshiping to appeal to your husband, and then you'll get the positive results, because this thing can break your marriage. It can.
Okay, let me ask you again. Have you been helped?
Yes, Miss Nancy.
And are you going to talk to your husband about this?
Yes, I am going to talk to him.
We pray that you do not mess your marriage up in this process. People, we have had a great discourse in the studio concerning a woman. I mean, technically, you would say that a chair, but they move here, or say they have touched, they have kissed, but they really haven't done it then. And if they haven't done it yet, it is still safe. Well, your last words, my lady, and we get out of here.
What I would say is, couples, whatever it is, there should be communication. And then the husbands, usually it's the husbands. I would say 80% is the husbands who would say, the woman will be complaining that he doesn't have time, he doesn't make time. Husbands, please make time. This thing is really killing marriages. It is sex is part of us. God created it with Adam and Eve. So please, let's communicate. If it is it's not coming up well, let's sit and talk about it so that, this adultery things going on, it's not helping. So communication is key in marriage, please.
There is nothing as exciting as leaving the office for just 1 hour, driving home, having a quickie with the husband and wife of your youth, and going back to work. People, we need to pay attention to our sexual lives so that we do not lose our beloveds in the process. This has been another wonderful edition of Confessions.